Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm your host, Nate Washburn. This week the movie is from 1937, Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is based on one of Grimm's fairy tales. The beautiful princess has an evil, jealous, wicked queen stepmother who instructs the huntsman to kill Snow White because she's becoming prettier than the queen. The huntsman takes her out into the woods, lets her go. She finds the cottage with the seven dwarfs, is welcomed into sort of their family. The queen, of course, finds out she's alive. It's a classic story. It's an old story. It's a very sweet story, although in this day and age, the whole Saved by True Love's first kiss probably wouldn't really fly. It's a family-friendly story, though it is not really a kid's movie, as there's really several tense moments and some frightening elements. Now, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's an incredibly important movie in the history of Hollywood. It is Walt Disney's first full-length feature. It's the first full-length animated feature using cell animation. There was some earlier, about 60-minute movies using silhouettes and stuff, but this one was cell animation. It was the first one done in color, and with the profits that Walt Disney made, he was able to create his studio. He was able to finance his studio in Burbank, California, where it sits today. Now, Walt Disney began production on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1934. It was originally budgeted at $250,000, but he ended up spending $1.5 million on this movie. It took him 3 years to complete. Industry insiders called it Disney's folly. His brother Roy tried to convince him to stop making it. His wife tried to talk him out of making it. Disney had to mortgage his house and put everything on the line for this movie. Now, Walt Disney insisted on quality. He disregarded the cost when he made this movie. Frank Thomas, one of the animators, told a story where he added a little hitch into Dopey's step when Dopey is going with the other dwarfs to wash their hands before dinner. Walt Disney liked it so much, he went back to these earlier sequences that had already been animated, scrapped them, and redid them, adding the hitch to Dopey's step, thus incurring more costs. Now, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs had its gala premiere in December of 1937, and then it went into wide release in February of 1938. It broke records everywhere. During its initial run in the US and Canada, it grossed $3.5 million. Overseas, it grossed $6.5 million for total profits of upwards of $10 million. Again, the profits from this movie allowed Disney to build his studio in Burbank, California. And it became the highest grossing sound movie ever. A position it held for 1 year because the following year Gone with the Wind was released and it broke Snow White's records. In March of 1938, the Academy Award nominations came out for the movies released in 1937. Snow White was only nominated for one award, Best Score, and it lost. However, the following year, the movie had caught fire. It was a smash hit. The songs were everywhere, Hi-Ho, Someday My Prince Will Come. It was this cultural phenomenon. The Academy honored Snow White. They gave Walt Disney himself a special honorary Oscar. It's a statuette. It's very funny. It's the Oscar statue, and then with 7 little Oscar statues for the Seven Dwarfs. The special Oscar was honoring, and I quote, "the significant screen innovation which has charmed millions and pioneered a great new entertainment field for the motion picture cartoon." Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the first. If you don't know it, you should watch it. It's the one that started it all. It's why we have the Pixar movies of today. It's why we have The Incredibles 2, which is going on to break records right at the moment. So if you like animated movies, if you like the Disney movies, Pixar movies, all of that stuff, do yourself a favor, watch Snow White. Watch the original one. It's a great film, and it is this week's classic Hollywood movie you should know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.